they've been so good. Do you think we're coming down from that? Are we on the other side of Mount Everest here on our way down with this team, or do you still think that window is wide open for them to really be one of the best in the league?
Well, we had the other day, we had the lines for every game this year for Philadelphia. They are favored in 13 games, which would suggest what? They would be 13-4. So, no, I don't think the expectations are down, change. And one of the things I've been arguing is this A.J. Brown trade, that if they're getting a 2028 pick, that to me does a disservice to a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, that you're not getting somebody to help this 2026 roster. And I don't know if Howie Roseman looks at this roster and says, this is the best roster in football. They might say we're one of the best rosters in football. But if you have A.J. Brown as an asset and you're trying to win the 2026 Super Bowl, I still behoove them to try to get a player to help this team out. Now, that said, they're a high-level contender. So my expectations are, yes. I think, John, when I popped in, I caught the back end of what you were saying. We were talking about this on Monday. What did they say? Wednesday? Monday. We had Sal Powell on Monday show, and we were talking about how we both think the defense this year will be better than last year's defense. And if that's the case, the offense, which nobody can comment on, nobody knows if this offense is going to be good, better, different, whatever. We think it's going to be different, but we don't know that it can be executed the way that it needs to be. If their offense, though, is slightly better than last year, this team should win more games, you would think, right?
Yeah. Well, I often say, look, you got two guys, really three, but to me, because they played a lot, Cam and Landon, if they were healthy, what do you win? 11 turns into 13 probably. Two guys. And I don't put Lane in that category because his injury was significant. He missed half the season. If he's out there, add him. You're telling me they're not winning 13 games? That's why I look at the overreaction.
I think their schedule sets up pretty nicely for them.
Oh, yeah. It's much easier than last year's schedule. Much easier.
Well, they do play the NFC West. So there's three really good teams there. And they play the AFC South. Why not high profile? Jacksonville won 13 games last year. Houston won, 11 or 12 games. Yeah. It has really good defense. Carolina won the division. I know they were less than 500, but they gave the Rams everything they could ask for in that playoff game, and you would think they're going to improve.
Now, but everybody's plugged into the same division. That's why I'm like, everybody else has got to play those teams too. So we often talk about the first place schedule. It's down to 3 games where it matters. And the 3 first place teams they have to play are Carolina, Pittsburgh, and who's the third one I'm missing? Why can't I think of the third one? It'll come to me. But, if you look at Dallas, the second place team, they got to play Tampa and Baltimore. Now, if you were to tell me who's better, Tampa or Carolina right now, I would bet on Tampa. If you had said who's going to be better, Baltimore or Pittsburgh, I'm going to bet on Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not even looking at the strength of the schedule as much. Well, but the fact that you're right, they have to play
Chicago, NFC North. Chicago's the other one. And so I say, and Dallas has to play Green Bay. If you said, is Green Bay going to be better than Chicago? Maybe, maybe not. But I bet on Green Bay. I bet on Green Bay over Chicago.
Well, that stretch there, they play the Bears and the Rams back-to-back. Rams at home, Bears on a Sunday night. That's a tough little pocket right there. The 3 home games late in the year helps you, but you're also playing Seattle and I think Houston,
Indy. It's Indy, Seattle, Houston in that order. That's a tough stretch, even though they're all at Lincoln Financial Field.
Right. Being at home helps, but that's a tough stretch of games. You have 3 straight division games. Never something that, division games are always a little different. So you have Dallas, Washington, the Giants right before the bye. I'm in the camp that I remember having this conversation probably at the same point last year, right after the draft, going into OTAs. And you're like, man, the Giants might not win a lot of games, but they're going to be a pain in the ass like that. And their defense hasn't been what we really thought it was going to be. Some of the draft picks have not materialized for them. So now they go out and get Reese, another draft pick. You're like, man, at some point, this defense has got to start clicking. And you wonder, and offensively, I think I heard they had the lead of double digits 6 times in the fourth quarter last year and lost all 6 games. Something to that effect. Like, you would think that Harbaugh maybe manages the game a little bit better and maybe they win some of those games. So I think the Giants are going to be much more of a pain in your ass than they've been.
I'm iffy on Jackson Dart. I'm sorry. I just am.
My biggest problem with Dart is can he stay healthy?
Yeah, and I just don't like the game outside of the off-schedule stuff. I just don't.
To me, it's the NFL. You're going to have some tough games. The reason why, like, the 3 best teams, in my opinion, the Eagles have to play this season are the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Texans. And they play them all at Lincoln Financial Field.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned the first place, second place thing. Dallas, to me, has a tougher road than the Eagles. That's just lucky. So for people that complain about the schedule, the bye week, week 10, I think that's phenomenal.
I like it.
Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before and 8 after. I mean, I like, it's the NFL. You can talk yourself into losing anybody, but this is every year. This schedule is great, in my opinion, for the Eagles.
And a lot of people complained, I've heard, about them not getting the bye after the London game. But the team can elect to not take the bye, right?
Yeah. And by the way, I think that's a trap game because you're coming back from London, which is a difficult trip, against a difficult team. Jacksonville's a good team. And you're playing Carolina. That should be an easy one at home. But then who's next? Dallas. So you're coming off London. You're thinking about Dallas. Right in the middle is Carolina. I think that's a trap game. And I think the other trap game, you play at Arizona, which is going to be one of the worst teams in football. That's kind of a gimme on the road. And then Seattle on December 19th. In between is Indianapolis, which is a good team. But again, it's at home at least. But you're probably going to be looking at the reigning Super Bowl champions and say, all right, here they come. Let's prove something. And you might look past Indy, but you never know. This is the NFL. Maybe Seattle stinks. Who knows? Maybe all the Sam Darnold haters come to fruition.
The Eagles were dogs in 4 games. Do you know which 4 they would be?
Dallas on the road.
On Thanksgiving, Rams early in Philly.
Rams in Philly. The Eagles are a dog in that game.
Yeah, that shocks me, but I'm not a big fan.
I think the Rams are the best. The Rams are.
I think the Rams are better, but I mean, the Eagles have had their number. I mean,
the Rams might be favored in every game this year for them. I mean, they're at least as it stands right now until things change.
The Eagles are dogs at Chicago.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, that shocks me.
At the Rams, at Dallas, and at San Francisco.
That makes sense.
They're
I
think.
Wait, are they at? No, they're not at LA, right?
LA's here.
LA's here.
But every other game's on the road, which I get. You get 3 points. Like, I think Seattle and Houston are much tougher than at San Francisco. But San Francisco beat them in the playoffs. So,
well, I've said all the time about the Rams is you keep beating them, you keep beating them, you keep beating them. At some point, you block a field goal in the last play of the game to beat them the last time. At some point, they are like, okay, we're better than that team. We are going to beat that team. I don't think that they are demoralized.
I don't think there's any doubt the Rams think they're better than the Eagles. I think the Rams are better than the Eagles. But, hey, they got to prove it.
Yeah, I've been getting the spreads for every division. I have not got the NFC West yet. So I can't see if the Rams, how often they're favored.
And that's why now the hype, and at Mike Gill Show, make sure you follow Mike on the X platform, YouTube channel as well, at Mike Gill Show, the Sports Best 2 to 6, drive time every day if you're local, 97.3 down the shore. I will say that this the Rams Eagles thing is, I'm with you. The worm's going to turn. Is it really going to turn at home on October 4th, though? I could see the Eagles winning that game. You know where it's going to come? In the playoffs when it hurts. That's when the loss is.
No, I disagree, John. I think they'll get you in the regular season, and then they'll be overhyped, and then you return the favor.
All right. So there's the positive. You're going to be popular, Mike.
And the one thing, you talk about Seattle. They lost Kenneth Walker. That was a big factor for them in the run game. When they made their run, he was a big part of that. I know they drafted a running back in the first round, and a lot of times those guys walk right in and can play right off the bat. But I think Seattle, that's something to keep. And they lost their offensive coordinator. We saw in Philly what that means when you got to go to a new offense, and now you have a new running back. So I think Seattle maybe takes a step back. Their defense is very good. However, Woolen, though, not there, who's, obviously here now.
I got Josh Jobe. They don't need him.
We got Josh Jobe, Alabama's finest. And then San Francisco, remember, they beat you here last year, and they were not healthy at all last year.
I still can't believe they won that game.
That team will walk into the season significantly healthier than they were a season ago, and they made the playoffs and beat you on the road. I don't think people are paying enough attention to San Francisco as a contender in the NFC.
Yeah, they're good. My question with them is, can they stay healthy because they're an older roster? But I do think they're a good team. Yeah,
that's really fair.
So,
it looks like, by the way, Stephon Diggs could end up with Washington potentially, or Baltimore.
Man, he's a Maryland guy. He's a DMV guy. So that doesn't surprise me.
If Diggs ends up, and I know, sometimes
he's
these older
impact. I don't know.
If look, he had a good year with the Patriots last year.
Yeah, he did. He just keeps producing. Now he's a pain in the ass off the field, but it's a hell of a player.
Well, you have him in McLaurin. You put him in McLaurin. I know they're two older guys, so you wonder when that thing just goes, because McLaurin was hurt last year as well. But I don't know. I think the NFC East is significantly more interesting this year than
Stephon Diggs had 85 catches for 113 yards last year, and he only had 102 targets. 85 of 102. That dude can play, man. No, he's getting old. And you got to deal with some of the off the field crap, but he just got off on his accusation that his very attractive chef made against him. So
if anybody can fan off the field nonsense, it would be a Josh Harris led organization.
That's true.
All right, Mike. Good stuff, man. We appreciate Mike Gill joining us here today. Follow him at Mike Gill Show. Listen to him at 97.3 ESPN down the shore, the best show in all of New Jersey. And as Mike pointed out earlier, you can listen to that thing from anywhere. Mike, thanks for doing it, brother. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week.
See ya.
Later.
Thanks, brother.